When this video gets published, sadly, the preview event will be over, but I'm filming a bunch of stuff ahead of time to hopefully help us deal with the withdrawals, scratch that itch. Also, I wanted to share the decks that I was enjoying the most during the preview event, provide some inspiration so when the game does come back, if you're looking for a starting point, you can take the deck codes, for example, import them in, make changes as you see fit. I am including the deck codes in the video description of all of these videos, and this time around, it is an Ezreal and Karma deck. So specifically, I was focusing on a late game kind of control deck where you're trying to take advantage of the leveled up versions of both of these. Karma here, when you play a spell, you cast it again on the same targets once she's leveled up. Ezreal, once you level him up, starts creating zero cost mystic shots, and anytime you cast a spell, you deal 2 damage to the enemy nexus. So you get to a point where if you have both Karma and Ezreal leveled up, a single Ezreal attack is worth 8 damage on the nexus because he's going to hit it for 2, then that makes the zero cost mystic shot, that targets the nexus, Karma copies it, that's another 2, his trigger goes off, that's another 2. Ezreal just kind of becomes a machine gun in the late game. So you have to survive to get there, and you got to level them up, and specifically Ezreal needs you targeting enemy units to level things up, and so that's what the deck is built around. So we've got Thermogenic Beam, targeted removal, Faye Blade Twirler. This is here because we have a few stun and recall effects. This also has quick attack, but this is just like an early game drop that helps you snowball, and it forces your opponent to kind of deal with that, which in turn buys you time. One insight as like a panic button. If you just need to make a random spell because you're in a situation that you can't get out of, it's your panic button. Mystic Shots, again, targeted damage. Deny is mostly here to keep your Karmas and Ezreals alive. Eager Apprentice. This is a card I've actually grown to love in this game because the spell mana is huge as carryover. In many ways, this is almost kind of like ramp. If you play this on turn 3, and it refills your spell mana, and then you pass, then going into the next turn, you're going to have 7 mana to work with across your spells, and that's the majority of your deck. So this is actually really important in this list. Obviously, we're including Ezreal. River Shaper here is to help you draw your spells. Steel Tempest is just defense, but it's also a targeted thing, so it helps you level up Ezreal. Also snowballs that 2-drop from earlier. Static Shock here. It deals 1 damage to 2 enemies, and yes, that counts as 2 targets for Ezreal, so that's the big reason that's here. Will of Ionia, again, defense, and helps snowball that 2-drop. 1 Funsmith because it can ramp up your damage done, really help you with some of your removal, because we don't have like true hard removal. Karma. True Shot Barrage, this is kind of your board sweep in this deck, but also this does target 3 things, so if it's 3 enemy units, that really helps level up Ezreal. Makes sense, it's his iconic ability in actual League of Legends. 1 Karina, this is like a late game board clear or potential board clear on a big body. We do run a lot of spells, so it's pretty common for her to hit the board and deal like 2 or 3 damage to all enemies. And then 1 Progress Day, just to kind of like refill your hand. I don't usually have a lot of issues with running out of cards, but if you do, Progress Day is there to help you refill. And that's the deck list. So as I normally do with these videos, we're going to go play 1 game on the list so you can see the deck in action, get a feel for how it works, and see if it's something that's right for you. Alright, so we are jumping into a game, and we're up against Freljord and Noxus, which isn't something I've seen paired too often. This isn't terrible. I think we're going to throw the Ezreal back, though. Believe it or not, oh yeah, that has the potential for this to just snowball. Ezreal's not the sort of thing that I typically want early on. Like, you'll take him if you get him, but... And now we got him. He gets his most value when he's either leveled up or close to leveling up, so...
Don't let the fluffy tails fool you.
Interesting. Starlit Seer is the way they're going to be going with this. Okay. Curious if they're going to bring the heat here. Nope, they're going to pass. Because typically you don't even want to like risk that getting hit. I honestly think this is just a pass. Let's actually attack first. Let's see how this goes. Again, like, we could develop Ezreal here, but I'm not sure that's going to end up being the correct play. I think I would rather let my spell mana fill up even more. Yep, because we're gonna end up bouncing this. They're gonna try to take this out. So we're either gonna bounce it or Tempest it. Maybe the Tempest. So if we play the Tempest, that means we could still develop something for 4. Or we could just pass. Okay, so they're gonna go to combat here. And so we're gonna stun the doggo. We're gonna say no, no. That's our first one for Ezreal here. So now is one of those times where I think we actually want to develop Ezreal going into this next round. Because developing him means we can go straight into combat, and then when he swings, unless they have a spell to shut him down, he's going to be making a Mystic Shot that we can use to clean up the wolf, hopefully.
Blessed by snow and stars.
Alright, so the frostbite's a wee bit annoying. No. We're actually gonna bounce one of these. Because this doesn't lock. So if we bounce one of these instead,
I know you're thinking and stuff, but could you maybe
this will
speed things up a
still
little?
go up to a 2-3, which
Now
should
who's got the
still
upper
trade
hand?
here with the quick attack.
Gotcha.
And then we'll be able to Mystic Shot this one as well.
We see through all.
Yeah, that's one of the things about Frostbite, is it only takes it to 0 on the play. So if you can buff it up post Frostbite, you can still hit back. It's not like a lock at 0 for the round. Alright, so we should be up to 3 now. Still have a lot of good targeted stuff in our hand. Gonna wait and see what they do though, because they're up to 9, counting their spell mana, and we're still here at 6, though we would like to get this Karma up and running. Alright, so they're gonna bring the heat with that. We need at least 3 to stun it, which means we cannot play our Karma, so we're just gonna pass. This will be one of those times where we're looking for...
A chill in the air.
Yep, that's fine. Looking to stun and then let our spell mana carry over.
Oh, vermin.
Or... No. Because we don't have quick attack on defense. If we had quick attack on defense, then we could pump that thing up again. But in this case, I think we just want to stun this. And take the other damage. I don't think we want to risk blocking with Ezreal. We're just gonna try to pass to refill our spell mana. straight to
It's not
combat.
bragging if you could back it up.
I'll protect the villages.
Nailed it.
Alright.
Bring me the calm of an ice-shrouded world.
Alright, we're gonna Mystic Shot this.
Charged.
So we're up to 5. So we're pretty close to leveling our Ezreal. So we're gonna do this now. We're gonna poke these 2 because this is the most likely to be stunned or bounced. And this at 1 health means Ezreal can actually start trying to block that now. Or we can just top deck another one and that will let us level up our Ezreal. And that's a pretty important deal, so... Actually, I think in this instance we want to also target the Nexus. Because as I said, this is just going to end up being stunned or bounced in some capacity. So Ezreal's leveled up. That's like 1/2 of the equation. We still have a lot of cards in our hand, which is good for us. We've got 2 Karmas. Karma auto levels up once we get to 10 mana, once we're enlightened. And then that's when things go hog wild.
I smell a fight!
Alright. We're gonna play Windermere. We're likely gonna need to bounce him and stun this one. So as much as I want to develop Karma here, I think we pass. And you want to bounce him because he costs the most.
My blade calls!
So we're gonna go ahead and do that. Which again is just gonna make this, as I said earlier, like this thing can snowball. It's like kind of cute. How insane that card can get sometimes. There's another one, but we're gonna go straight to combat. Because this Ezreal represents a lot of damage now. So far, we're okay. We get the trade. Let's get a Karma down, because then she will level up at the start of this next turn. Now, we could get the Nexus down to 2.
Winter is the
Theoretically
Freljord's
here.
true ruler.
And I think that's actually exactly what we want to do here. So, we're going to go ahead and hit this for 2. Because his trigger is going to mean this is basically worth 4. And we're going to do it again, and if they still don't have an answer, then this as a burst will just finish the game. So, they could answer if they've got the burst, like, ramp heal for 3. But they did not, and so that's going to be it. We're just going to burst and win the game with Ezreal. And this is kind of the point. You didn't get to see the Karma side, which is a bit sad. But you see what this deck is going for. So, that's it. That is the Spellsreal deck that I've been having a lot of fun with, and if you made it this far, I appreciate you watching the video, watching the content. Maybe consider subscribing, and I hope to catch you in future videos.